creatures, get you home. Is this a holiday? What? Know you not you will not walk upon a labouring day without the sign of your profession? Speak, what trade art thou?
Why, sir, a carpenter.
And wherefore art not in thy shop today? Why do you lead these men about the streets?
Why, sir, to wear out their shoes and get them myself into more work. But indeed, sir, we make holiday to see Caesar and rejoice in his triumph.
Wherefore rejoice? What conquest brings him home? What tributaries follow him to Rome to grace in captive bonds his chariot wheels? You blocks, you stones, you worse than senseless beings! O hard hearts, you cruel men of Rome, knew you not Pompeii? Many a time and oft have you climbed up walls and battlements, to towers and windows, yet to chimney tops, your infants in your arms, and there have sat the livelong day with patient expectation to see great Pompeii pass through the streets of Rome. And do you not put on your best attire? Do you not call out a holiday? And do you not strew flowers in his path that was made in triumph over Pompey's blood? Be gone! Run to your homes, fall upon your knees, pray the gods to intermit this plague that needs must light on this ingratitude.
Go, good countrymen, and for this fault assemble all the poor men of your sort. Draw them to Tyre banks and weep your tears into the channel, till the lowest stream Duke is the most exalted chores of all. See them whose basest metal be moved, they vanish tongue-tied in their guiltiness. Go you down that way towards the capital. This way will I. Disrobe the images if you do find them decked with ceremonies.
May we do so? You notice the feast of Living.
It is no matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. I'll about, and drive away the vulgar from the streets. So do you too where you perceive them thick. These growing feathers plucked from Caesar's wings will make him fly in ordinary pitch. Who else would soar above the view of men and keep us all in servile fearfulness?
Calpurnia! Calpurnia!
Here, my lord.
Stand you directly in Antonius' way when he doth run his course. Antonius!
Caesar, my lord.
Forget not in your speed, Antonius, to touch Calpurnia. For our elders say, the Baron, touched in this holy chase, shake off their sterile curse.
I shall remember. When Caesar says do this, it is performed.
Sit on, and leave no ceremony out.
Caesar!
Huh? Who calls? I hear a voice shriller than all the music cry, Caesar! Speak! Caesar is turned to hear.
Beware the Ides of March.
What man is that?
Soothsayer bids you beware the Ides of March.
Set him before me. Let me see his face.
Fellow, come from the throng. Look upon Caesar.
What sayest thou to me now? Speak once again.
Beware the Ides of March.
Oh, he is a dreamer! Oh, let us leave him. Pass!
Will you go see the order of the course?
Not I.
I pray you, do.
I am not gamesome. I do lack some part of that great spirit that is in Antony. Let me not hinder, Cassius, your desires. I'll leave you.
Brutus, I do observe you now as of late. I have not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love that I was wont to have. You bear too stubborn a hand of your friend that loves you.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I had veiled my look, I turn the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am awake with passions of some difference, conceptions only proper to myself, which give some soil perchance to my behaviors. But not there for my new friend be bereaved, among which number Cassius be you one, nor construe any further my neglects than that poor Brutus, with himself at war, forgets the shows of love to other men.
Then, Brutus, I much mistook your passion, by means whereof this breast of mine hath buried thoughts of great value, worthy of cogitations. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself but by reflection, by some other things.
'Tis just. It is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as to turn your hidden worthiness into your eyes. and you might see your shadow. I have heard where many of the best respects in Rome, except immortal Caesar, when speaking of Brutus, and groaning under this age's yoke, and wish that noble Brutus had his eyes.
And to what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, that you would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me?
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear. And since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet not know. Be not jealous on me, good Brutus. Were I a common laugher, or did you still with ordinary oaths my love to every new protester? If you do know that I fawn on men and hug them hard and then after scandal them, or if you know that I present myself in banqueting to every rout, then find me dangerous.
What means the shouting? I fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
Aye. Do you fear it? Then I must think you would not think it so.
I would not, Cassius. Yet I love him well. But wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it you would impart to me? If it be aught toward the general good, set honor in one eye and death in the other, and I will look on both indifferently. For if the gods so speed me as I love the name of honor, more than I fear death.
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I do know your outward faith. Well, honor is the subject of my story. I cannot tell you what you and other men think of this life, but for my single self, I had as life not be as live, than to be in awe of such a thing as I myself. I was born as free as Caesar. So we've both fed as well. We can both endure the winter's cold as well as he. For once, upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber chafing with her shores, Caesar said to me, "Darest thou now, Cassius, leap in with me into this angry flood and swim to yonder point?" Upon this word, cautioned as I was, I plunged in and bade him follow. And indeed he did. The torrent roared, and we did buffet it with lusty sinews, casting it aside and stemming the hearts with controversy. There we reached the proposed point. Caesar said to me, "Save me, Cassius, or I sink!" I, as Aeneas, our great ancestor, did through the flames of Troy bear on his shoulder the old Anchises, so I, through the waves of Tiber, the tired Caesar. Now, this man has become a god. And Cassius is a wretched creature, and must bend his body if Caesar put not on him. He had a fever when he was in Spain. And when that fit was upon him, I did mark how he did shake. 'Tis true. This god did shake. From his coward lips did their color fly, and that same eye whose awe doth bend the world did lose his lustre. Oh, he did groan. Aye, that same tongue of his that bade the Romans mark him and write his speeches in their books, alas, it cried, "Fetch me some drink," as a sick girl. Ye gods, it doth amaze me that a man of such feeble temper should get the start of a majestic world and bear the palm alone.
Another general shout. I do believe that these applauses are for some new honors that are heaped upon Caesar.
Why, man, he doth bestride this narrow world like a colossus, and we petty men must walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men of some times are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, in ourselves that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar. What should be in that Caesar? Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Write them together. Yours is as fair a name. Sound them. It doth become the mouth. Weigh them. Yours is as heavy. Conjured with them. Brutus will start a fire as soon as Caesar. Now in the name of all the gods at once, upon what meat doth this our Caesar feed, that he is grown so great? Age, thou art shamed. Rome, thou hast lost the breed of noble bloods. When went there by an ancient, the great flood, but it was famed by more than only one man. What could they say in speaking of Rome and her wide walls encompassed but only one man? Now is it Rome indeed, and room enough when there is in it but only one man? You and I have heard our fathers say, there was Brutus once, who would have brooked the eternal devil to keep his state in Rome as easily as a king.
Should you love me, I am nothing jealous. But you would work me to, and have some aim. How I have thought of this and of these times I shall impart hereafter. For this present I would not, so with love I might entreat you be any further rude. What you have said I will consider. What you have to say I will with patience hear, and find a time with meet to hear and answer such high things. For now, my noble friend, chew upon this. Brutus had rather be a villager than to reckon himself a son of Rome under these hard conditions as this time is like to lay upon us.
I am glad that my weak words had struck that this much show fire from Brutus.
Games are done. Caesar is returning.
As they pass by, pluck Casca by the cloak, and he will, after his sour fashion, tell us what happened when we worked today.
I will do so. But look you, Cassius, the angry spot doth glow on Caesar's brow, and all the rest look like a chidden train. Calpurnia's cheek is pale, and Decius stands with such ferret and such fiery eyes as we have seen in the Capitol, in crossing conference by some senator.
Casca will tell us what the matter is.
Antonius,
Caesar.
let me have men about me that are fat, sleek-headed men, and such as sleep at nights. Yond Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Fear him not, Caesar. He's not dangerous. He's a noble Roman and well given.
Would he were fatter, but I fear him not. Yet, if my mane were liable to fear, I do not know the man I should avoid so soon as that spare Cassius. He reads much. He is a great observer, and he looks quite through the deeds of men. He loves no place, as does thou, Antony. He hears no music. Seldom he smiles, and smiles in such a sort as if he mocked himself and scorned his spirit that could be moved to smile at anything. Such men as he be never at heart's ease, whilst they behold are greater than themselves, and therefore are they very dangerous. I'd rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear. For always I am Caesar. Come to my right hand for this ear of Steph, and tell me truly what thou thinkst of him.
You pulled me by the cloak. Would you speak with me?
Aye, Casca. Tell us what's the chance today that Caesar looks so sad.
Why, you were with him when you left, were you not?
I should not then ask Casca what it chanced.
Why, there was a crown offered him, and being offered, he put it by with the back of his hand thus. And the people fell a-shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that too.
They shouted thrice. It was the last cry for it.
Why, For that too.
Was the crown offered him thrice?
I, Mary, was, and he put it by thrice, each time gentler than the last. And at every putting by, mine honest neighbors shouted.
Who offered him the crown?
Why, Antony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casta.
You can't as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. 'Twas mere foolery. I did not mark it. I don't forget he offered him the crown. Yes, 'twas not a crown either, one of these coronets. And, as I told you, he put it by once, but for all that, my thinking, he was pain at it. He offered to it again. He put it by again, but to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers off of it. He offered to him a third time. He put it by a third time, and still, as he refused, the people hooted and cheered and clapped their chapped hands and drooped their sweaty nightcaps and uttered a great deal of stinking breath because Caesar refused the crown. It almost choked Caesar, for he swooned and fell down at it, and for my own part, I dare not laugh, for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
But soft, I pray you. What did Caesar swoon?
Why, he fell down in the marketplace and foamed the mouth and was speechless.
What said he when he came unto himself?
Mary, before he fell, he said, well, when he perceived the common herd was glad he refused the crown, he plucked me with the doublet and offered them to his throat to cut. And I had been a man of any occupation, if I would not have taken him at a word, I thought I might go to hell amongst the rogues, and so he fell. When he came to himself again, he said, he had done, or said anything of this, desired his worship think it was his infirmity. As he went just where I stood, crying, alas, good soul, and forgave him with all their hearts, but there's no heed. He gave him them. Caesar had stabbed their fathers, they would have done no less.
And after that, he came thus sad away.
Aye. I could tell you more news, too. Mailus and Flavius, for pulling scarves off Caesar's images, had been put to silence. There's more foolery yet. If I could remember it. Farewell, both.
What a blunt fellow is this grown to be. He was quick mettle when he was in school.
So is he now in execution of any bold or noble enterprise. This rudeness is the sauce that is good wit, and it gives men stomach to digest his words with better appetite.
So it is. For this time I will leave you. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, I will come home to you. Or if you will, come home to me, and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Until then, good for the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble. Yet I see that thy honorable metal may be wrought from what it is disposed. Therefore it is meet that noble minds keep with their likes, for who should be so firm as not be seduced? Caesar doth bear me hard, but he loves Brutus. If I were Brutus and he were Cassius, he should not humor me. I will this night, from several hands, in at his window throw, as if it come from several citizens, writings, all tending to the same great opinion that Rome holds of his name. Wherein obscurely Caesar's ambitions shall be glanced at. Caesar shall seat him sure, for we will shake him. The worst days will endure.
Good evening, Simper. Brought you Caesar home? Why are you breathless and why stare you so?
Are you not moved when all the sway of the earth shakes like a thing unfirm? O Decius, I have seen tempests when the scolding winds have writhed on haughty oaks, and I have seen the ambitious ocean rage and swell and foam to be exalted with threatening clouds. But never till tonight, never till now, did I go through a tempest-dropping fire. Either there is civil strife in heaven, or else the world too too saucy with the gods, incenses them to send destruction.
Why, saw you anything more wonderful?
A common slave, you know him well by sight, held up his left hand which did flame and burn, like 20 torches joined, and yet his hand, not sensible of fire, remained unscorched. Besides, I have not since put up my sword. Against the capital I met a lion, who glared upon me and went surly by, without annoying me, and there were drawn upon a heap of 100 ghastly women, transported with their fear, who swore they saw men all in fire, walk up and down the street. And yesterday, the bird of night did sit even at noonday upon the marketplace, hooting and shrieking. When these prodigies do so conjointly meet, let not men say, these are their reasons, for they are natural. For I believe they are for tetanus things unto the climate which they point upon.
Indeed, it is a strange disposed time, but men may construe things after their fashion, clean from the purposes of things themselves. Come Caesar to the capital tomorrow.
He doth, for he did bid Antonius send word to you he would be there tomorrow.
Good night then, Cimber. This disturbed sky is not to walk in.
Farewell, Decius.
Who's there?
A Roman.
Endless Cimber, by your voice.
Your ear is good, Cassius. What night is this?
A very pleasing night for honest men.
Whoever knew the heavens meant is so.
Those that have known the earth so full of faults. For my part, I've walked about these streets and submitted me unto this perilous night. And thus, unbraced Cimber, as you see, have bared my bosom to the thunderstone. And when that cross-blue lightning did seem to open the breast of heaven, I did present myself, even in the aim and very flash of it.
But wherefore did you so much tempt the heavens? Is it part of men to fear and tremble when the most mighty gods by token send such dreadful heralds to astonish us?
You are dull, Cimber. And those sparks of life that should be in a Roman, you do want, or else you use not. You look pale and gaze and put on fear and cast yourself in wonder to see the strange impatience of the heavens. But if you would consider the true cause, why all these fires? Why all these gliding ghosts? Why birds and beasts from kind and quality? Why old men fool and children calculate? Why all of these things have changed from their ordinance, their natures and performed faculties unto monstrous qualities? Why you shall find that heaven hath infused them with these spirits, to turn them into instruments of danger and fear unto some monstrous state. Now, Cimber, could I name to thee a man most like this dreaded night, that thunders, lightens, opens graves, and roars as doth the lion from the Capitol, a man no mightier than thyself or me in personal action, a prodigious grown and fearful as these strange eruptions are.
'Tis Caesar that you mean, is it not, Cassius?
Let it be who it is. For Romans now have thews and limbs like to their ancestors. Oh, but woe the while. Our fathers' minds are dead, and we govern with our mothers' spirits. Our yoke of suffrage shows womanish.
Indeed, they say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar as king, and he shall wear his crown by sea and by land, and in every place, save here in Italy.
I know where I shall wear this dagger then. Cassius from bondage will deliver Cassius. Therein, ye gods, you make the weak most strong. Therein, ye gods, you tyrants do defeat. Nor stony towers or walls of peat and brass, nor airless measure, nor strong links of iron could be tentative to the strength of a spirit. Life, being wary of these worldly bars, never lacks the power to dismiss itself. I know this, know all the world besides. That part of tyranny that I do bear, I can shake off at pleasure.
So can I. So every bondman in his own hand bears the power to cancel his captivity.
Why should Caesar be a tyrant then? Poor man. I know he were no wolf, but that he sees the Romans are but sheep. He were no lion, were the Romans not hides. He with haste to make a great fire begins in weak, strong. Trash is Rome. What rubbish! Awful! To serve for the base matters to illuminate such a vile thing as Caesar! But saw, grief, where is that led me? If I perchance speak this before willing bondsmen, then I know my answer must be made. But I am armed. Dangers to me are different.
You speak to Cimber, and to such a man that is no fleering telltale. Hold my hand, be factious for redress of all these griefs, and I will set this foot of mine as far as who goes farthest.
There's a bargain made. Now, know you, Cimber, I have called some certain of the noblest minded Romans to undergo with me an enterprise of honorably dangerous consequence. I do know by this that they wait for me here. For this fearful night there is no stir or walking in the streets. The complexion of the elements favors the work that we have in hand. There's fire, letting, roast, terror.
Stand close a while, for here comes one in haste.
'Tis Cinna. I do know him by his gait. He is a friend. Where haste you, Cinna?
To find out you. Who's that?
It is Melisande, one in court to our terms.
What a fearful night is this. There's 2 or 3 of us have seen strange sights. Oh, Cassius, if you could but win the noble Brutus to our
Be
party.
you content, good Cinna. Look you lay this paper in the praetor's chair, where Brutus may but find it. And throw this in at his window, and set this up with wax upon old Brutus's statue. All of this done, repair to Pompey's porch, where you will find you. Is Casca there?
All but Decius, and he's gone to seek you at your house. Well, I will hide, and so bestow these papers as a gift.
All of this done, repair to Pompey's theatre. Come, Cinna. We will yet ere day find Brutus at his house. For 3 parts the man is ours already, and the man entire upon this and next encounter yields him ours.
Oh, he sits high in all people's hearts, and that which would appear offense in us, his countenance, like richest alchemy, will change to virtue and worthiness.
Him and his worth in our great need of him. You have right well considered. Let us go, for his past midnight, and ere day we shall awake him. Be sure of him.
It must be by his death. For my part, I know no personal cause to spurn at him. But for the general, he would be crowned. How that might change his nature, there's the question. It is the bright day that brings forth the adder, and that craves wary walking. Crown him, that, and then I grant you put a sting in him, that at his will he may do danger with. The abuse of greatness is when it disjoins remorse from power. And to speak truth of Caesar, I have not known when his affections swayed more than his reason. It is the common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder, whereto the climber upward turns his face. When he once attains the utmost rung, he then, unto the ladder, turns his back. Looks in the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascend. So Caesar meant. Then, lest he may prevent. And since the quarrel will hold no color for the thing he is, fashion it thus, that what he is, augmented, would run to these and these extremities, and therefore think him as a serpent's egg, which, hatched, would, as his kind, grow mischievous, and kill him in the shell.
My lord, searching the window for a flint, I found this paper, thus sealed up, and I'm sure it did not lie there when I went to bed.
Be to bed again, it is not day. It is not tomorrow, boy, the Ides of March.
I know not, sir.
Look at the calendar and bring me word.
I will, sir.
His exhalations whizzing in the air give so much light that I may read by them. Brutus, thou sleepst. Awake and see thyself. Shall Rome speak, strike, redress. Brutus, thou sleepst. Awake. Such instigations have been often dropped where I took them up. Shall Rome, etc. Thus must I piece it out. Shall Rome stand under one man's awe? What? Rome? My ancestors did the Tarquin drive from the streets of Rome, and he was called a king. Speak. Strike. Redress. Am I entreated to speak and to strike? O Rome, I make thee promise. If the redress will follow, thou receivest thy full petition at the hand of Brutus.
Sir, March has wasted 14 days.
'Tis good. Go to the gate. Somebody knocks. Since Cassius first had wept me against Caesar, I have not slept. Between the acting of a dreadful thing and the first motion, all the interim is like a phantasma or a hideous dream. The genius and the mortal instruments are then in council. And the state of man, like to a little kingdom, suffers then the nature of an insurrection.
Sir, 'tis Cassius at the door, who doth desire to see you.
Is he alone?
No, there are more with him.
Do you know them?
No, my lord. Their hats are plucked about their ears, and their faces half buried in their cloaks, that by no means I may discover them by any mark of favor.
Let him enter. They are the faction. O conspiracy! Shamest thou to show thy dangerous brow by night, when evils are most free? O, and by day, where wilt thou find a cavern dark enough to mask thy monstrous visage? Seek none conspiracy. Hide it in smiles and affability. For if thou path thy native semblance on, not Erebus itself were dim enough to mask thee from prevention.
I think we are too bold upon your arrest. Tomorrow, Brutus, do we trouble you?
I have been awake this hour of all night. Know I these men that come along with you?
Aye, every man of them. No man here but honors you, and every one doth wish you held that same opinion of yourself that every noble Roman holds of you. This is Decius,
Please welcome hither.
this Casca, this Simon, and this Metellus.
You're all welcome. What watchful cares do interpose themselves betwixt your eyes and night?
Shall I entreat to work?
Here lies the east. Doth let the day break here?
No. Oh, pardon, sir. It doth, and yon grey lines that fret the clouds are messengers of day. You shall confess that you were both deceived. Here, as I point to my sword, the sun arises, which is a great way of going on the south, weighing the youthful season of the year. Some 2 months hence higher up towards the north, he bears his first fire. And the high east stands as the capital directly here.
Give me your hands all over, one by one.
And let us swear by our resolution.
No, not an oath. Not the face of men, the sufferance of souls, the time's abuse. If these be motives weak, break off the times, and each man home to his idle bed. So let high-sided tyranny rage on, till each man drop by lottery. But if these, as I am sure they do, bear fire enough to kindle cowards, and to steal with valor the melting spirits of women, then, countrymen, what need we any spur but our own cause to prick us to redress? What other bond than the secret Romans that spoke the word and will not palter? And what other oath than honesty to honesty engaged, that this shall be or we shall fall for it? Swear priests and cowards and men cautelous, old feeble carrions and such suffering creatures that do welcome wrongs. And to bad causes swear such creatures as men doubt. But do not stain the even virtue of our enterprise, nor the insuppressive mettle of our spirits, to think that for our cause or our performance did need oath. And every drop of blood that every Roman bears, and nobly bears, is guilty of a several bastardy, if he do break the smallest particle of any promise that hath passed from him.
Shall no man else be touched but only Caesar?
Decius, well urged. I think it is not meet that Mark Antony, so well beloved by Caesar, should outlive Caesar. We shall find him a shrewd contriver, and you know his means. If he were to improve upon them, he may stretch so far as to annoy us all. So, to prevent, let Antony and Caesar fall together.
The course will seem too bloody, Cassius, to cut the head off and then hack the limbs, like wrath and death and envy afterwards. Mark Antony's but a limb of Caesar. We all stand up against the spirit of Caesar. And in the spirit of men there is no blood, so that we then could come by Caesar's spirit and not dismember him. And Caesar must bleed for it. Therefore, gentle friends, let's kill him boldly, but not wrathfully. Let's carve him as a dish fit for the gods, not hew him as a carcass fit for hounds. And let our hearts, as subtle masters do, stir up their servants to an act of rage, and after them to chide. This shall make our purpose necessary and not envious, which, so appearing to common people, we shall be called perjurers, not murderers. For Mark Antony, think not on him. He can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off.
But yet I fear him. For the engrafted love he bears towards Caesar is
Cassius, do not think of him. If he loves Caesar, all that he can do is to himself take thought and die for Caesar.
There is no fear in him. Let him not die, for he will live and laugh at this hereafter.
Peace. Count the clock.
Clock out stricken 3.
'Tis time to part.
But it is doubtful yet whether Caesar will come forth today or no. For he is superstitious grown as of late, quite from that vain opinion he once held of fantasies, of dreams and ceremonies. It may be that these apparent prodigies, the unaccustomed terror of this night, and the dissuasion from his augurs will keep him from the capital today.
Never fear that. If he be so resolved, I can give his humor the true bent, and I will bring him to the capital.
Then, we will all of us be there to fetch him.
By the 8th hour. Is that the uttermost?
Be that the uttermost, and fail not then.
The morning comes upon us. We shall leave you, Brutus. And friends, disperse yourself, but remember what you have said, and show yourselves true Romans.
Good friends, look fresh and merrily. Let not our looks put on our purposes, but bear it as our Roman actors do, with untired spirits and formal constancy. And so did March you everywhere.
Praise my lord.
Portia, what mean you? Wherefore rise you now? It is not for your health thus to commit your weak condition to a raw cold morning.
Not for yours neither. You went gently, Brutus. Stolen from my bed, and yesterday after supper, you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing with your arms crossed. And when I asked you what the matter was, looked upon me with gentle looks. I urged you further, and you scratched your head and to impatiently stamped with your foot, yet I insisted. Yet you answered not. But with an angry wafture of your hand gave sign for me to leave you, so I did. Fearing to strengthen that impatience, which seemed much to enkindled, and withal hoping it was but an effect of humor which sometime hath its hour with every man. Nor not that you eat, nor talk, nor sleep, and can work so much upon your shape as hath much prevailed on your condition, I should not know you for this. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your possibility.
I am not well in health, and that is all.
Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace the means to come by it.
Why, so I do. Portia, go to bed.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical? To walk embraced and to suck up the humors of the dank morning? What? Is Brutus sick? He will steal upon his wholesome bed dead to dare the vile contagion of the night and tempt the roomy and upburst air to add unto his sickness. No, Bruce. You have some sick offense within your mind which, by the right and virtue of my place, I ought to know of. And upon my knees, I charge you, by my once commended beauty, by all your vows of love, and that great vow which did incorporate and make us one, that you would falter me, Bruce. Yourself, your half. Why, you are heavy, and what meant tonight have had to resort to you? For there have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from darkness.
Kneel not, gentle Portia.
I should not need to if you were gentle, Brutus. Within the bonds of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it accepted I should know no secrets that appertain to you? Am I yourself but, as it were, in sort or limitation to keep with you at meals, comfort your bed and talk to you sometimes, while I live in the suburbs of your good pleasure? If it be no more, Portia is Brutus's harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife, as dear to me as are the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
If this were true, then should I know this secret? I grant I am a woman, but a woman Lord Brutus took to wife. I grant I am a woman, but a woman well reputed Cato's daughter. Think you I'm no stronger than my sex, being so fathered and so husbanded? Tell me your counsels. I will not disclose them. I shall show proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound here. In reply, can I bear them in patience and not my husband's secrets?
O ye gods, render me worthy of this noble wife. Portia, come in a while, and by thy bosom shall partake the secrets of my heart. All my engagements will I construe to thee, all the character of my sad brows. I leave thee with haste.
Nor heaven nor earth hath been at peace tonight. Thrice hath Calpurnia in her sleep cried out, Help, ho! They murder Caesar. Who's within? Go bid the priests do present sacrifice, and bring me their opinions of success.
What mean you, Caesar? Think you to walk forth? You shall not stir out of your house today.
Caesar shall forth. The things that threatened me never look but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanished.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies. And now they frighten me. There's one within, besides the things that we have heard and seen, recounts the most horrid sight seen by the watch. The lions have gulped in the streets, and graves have yawned and yielded up their dead. Fierce fiery warriors have fought in the class and ranks and squadrons in right form of war, and blood has bristled upon the capital. The noise of battle hurtled in the air, and horses did neigh, and dying men did groan, and those did shriek about in the streets. Oh, Caesar, these things are all beyond news, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided, whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall forth, for these predictions are to the world in general as to Caesar.
When beggars die, no comets are seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princess.
Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death, but once. Of all the wonders I yet have heard, it seems most strange to me that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. What say the augurers?
They would not have you to stir forth today. Plucking the entrails of an offering forth, they could not find a heart within the beast.
The gods do this in shame of cowardice. Caesar shall be a beast without a heart if he stays at home today. No! Caesar shall not. Danger knows full well that Caesar is more dangerous than he. We are two lions littered in one day, and I the elder and more terrible, and Caesar shall go forth.
Alas, my lord! Your wisdom has been consumed by confidence. Do not go forth today. Will it by fear that keeps you in this house and not your own? Will send Mark Antony to the Senate house, and he shall say, you're not feeling well today. Let me, upon my name, prevail on these.
Antony shall say I am not well, and for thy humor I will stay at home. Here's Decius. He shall tell them so.
Caesar, all hail. Good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate house.
And you come in very happy time to bear my greetings to the senators and tell them that I will not come today. Cannot is false, and that I dare not, falser. I will not come today. Tell them so, Decius.
Say he is sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? Have I in conquest stretched mine arms so far to be afraid to tell graybeards the truth? Decius, go tell them Caesar will not come.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell him so.
The cause is in my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know. Calpurnia here, my wife, stays me at home. She dreamt tonight she saw my statua, which, like a fountain with 100 spouts, did run pure blood. And many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it. And these does she apply for warnings important and evils imminent. And in her knee hath begged that I will stay at home today.
This dream is all a misinterpreted. It was a vision fair and fortunate. Your statue, spouting blood in many pipes, in which so many smiling Romans bathed, signifies that from you Rome shall suck reviving blood, and great men shall press for tinctures, stains, relics, and cognizance. This by Calpurnia's dream is signified.
And this way have you well expounded it.
I have, when you have heard what I can say, and know it now. The Senate hath concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word you will not come, their minds may change. Besides, it were a law, apt to be rendered, for someone to say, break up the Senate till another time, when Caesar's wife shall meet with better dreams. If Caesar hide himself, shall they not whisper, lo, Caesar is afraid? Pardon me, for my dear love to our proceeding bids me tell you this, and reason to my love is liable.
How foolish do your fears seem now, Calpurnia! I am ashamed I did yield to them. And look where Cinna has come to fetch me.
Good morrow, Caesar.
Welcome, Cinna. What? Brutus! Are you stirred so early, too? Good morrow, Casca. Caesar was never so much your enemy as that same ague which hath made you lean. What is it o'clock?
Caesar, 'tis struck an 8.
I thank you for your pains and courtesy. See, Antony, which troubles long nights is notwithstanding up. Good morrow, Antony.
So do most noble Caesar.
Bid them prepare within. I am to blame to be thus waited for. What, Casca? I have an hour's talk in store for you. Remember that you call on me today. Be near me, that I may remember you.
Caesar, I will. And so near will I be that your best friend shall wish I had been further.
Good friends, go in and taste some wine with me, and we, like friends, will straightway go together.
And every like is not the same, O Caesar. Haverford is yours to think upon.
Caesar, beware of Cassius. Come not near Casca. Mark well, Cinna. Have an eye to Cimber. Thou hast wronged Decius, and Brutus loves thee not. There is but one mind in all these men, and it is bent against Caesar, Caesar! If thou be'st not immortal, look about thyself. Security gives way to conspiracy. The mighty gods defend thee, and mine own heart laments that virtue cannot live outside the teeth of emulation. If thou understandst this, Caesar, thou mayst live. If not, the fates of traitors do contrive.
Boy, run thee to the Senate house. Say not to answer me, but get thee gone. Why dost thou stay?
To know my errand, madam.
I would have had thee there and here again. Ere I can tell thee what thou shouldst do there. O constancy, be strong upon my side. Set a huge mountain between my heart and my tongue. I have a man's mind, but a woman's might. How hard it is for women to keep counsel. Art thou here yet?
Madam, what should I do? Run to the capital and nothing else, and so return to you and nothing else?
Yes, bring me word, boy, if thy lord look well. We went simply forth. Take good notes what Caesar doth, and what soonest press to him. Hark, boy, what noise is that?
I hear none, madam.
Prithee, listen well. I hear a bustling rumor like a fray. And the wind brings it from the capital.
Soothe, madam, I hear nothing.
Come hither, fellow. Which way hast thou been?
From mine own house, good lady.
What is o'clock?
About the 9th hour, lady.
Has Caesar yet gone to the capital?
Not yet, madam. I go to take my stand to see great Caesar pass on to the capital.
Thou hast some suit Caesar, hast thou not?
That I have. If it please Caesar to be so great as Caesar as to hear me, I shall entreat him to befriend himself.
Why? Knowest thou any harms intended towards him?
Much that I fear may chance. Good morrow to you. Here the street is narrow. The crowd that follows Caesar at the heels of senators, of praetors, common suitors, may crush a feeble man almost to death. I'll get me to a place more void, and there I'll see great Caesar as he comes along.
I must go in. Why me? How weak a thing the heart of a woman is. Oh, Brutus, the heavens speed thee in an enterprise. I'm sure the boy hears me. Brutus hath the suit that Caesar will not grant. Profanes, run, Lucius, and commend me to my lord. Say I am married. Come to me again, and bring me word what he doth say to thee.
The Ides of March are come. Hail Caesar! Read this schedule!
Casca doth desire to order at your best leisure this his highness.
Oh, Caesar! Read mine first, for mine's a suit that touches Caesar nearer. Read it! Great Caesar!
What touches us ourselves shall be last served.
Delay not, Caesar! Read it instantly!
Is the fellow mad?
Here at your place!
What? Urge you your petitions in the street? Come to the capital.
I wish your enterprise today may thrive.
What enterprise, Lepidus?
Fairly well.
What's up, Lepidus?
He wished today that our enterprise might thrive. I fear our purpose is discovered.
Look how he makes to Caesar. Mark him.
Cassie, be sudden, for we fear prevention. Brutus, what shall be done? If this be known, Cassius or Caesar shall never turn back, for I will slay myself.
Cassius, be constant. Lepidus speaks not our purposes, for he smiles, and Caesar does not change.
Decius knows his time. For look you, Brutus, he draws Marcanton out of the way.
Casca, you're the first that we shall have.
Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his senates must redress?
Most high, most noble, most puissant Caesar, I throw before thy state and humble heart.
I must prevent thee, Casca. These couchings and these lowly curtsies might fire the blood of ordinary men and turn preordinance and first decree into the law of children. Be not fond that Caesar bears such rebel blood that could be thought from the true quality with that which melted fools. I mean, sweet words, low crooked curtsies, and base spaniel fawning. Thy brother Servilius by decree is banished. If thou dost bend and pray and fawn for him, I will spurn thee like a cur out of my way. No, Caesar doth not wrong, nor without a cause will he be satisfied.
Is there no voice more worthy than my own to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ear for the repealing of my banished brother?
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar, desiring thee that Servilius may have an immediate freedom of repeal.
What? Brutus.
Pardon. Caesar. Caesar, pardon. As lowest to thy foot doth Cassius fall, to beg enfranchisement for civilians.
I could be well moved if I were as you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me. But I am as constant as the northern star, of whose true fixed and resting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. The skies are painted with unnumbered sparks, and they're all fire, and everyone doth shine. But there's but one in all doth hold his place. So in the world, 'tis furnished well with men, and men are flesh and blood, and apprehensive. Yet in the number I know but of one, who unassailable holds on his rank, unshaked of motion, and that I am he. Let me a little show it, even in this, that I was constant, that he should be banished, and constant to remain, to keep him so.
Oh, Caesar!
Hence, for the lift of Olympus!
Great Caesar!
Doth not Brutus, bootless kneel!
Take hands for me!
Tu, Brute, then fall, Caesar!
Liberty! Freedom! Tyranny is dead! Red hands proclaim, crying about the streets!
Up to the common movement and cry out, liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement!
People and senators, be not afraid! Fly not! Stand stiff! Ambition's debt is paid!
Go to the pulpit, Brutus, go! And Cassius too!
Where's Lepidus?
Here, quite confounded with his mutiny.
Let's stand together lest one of Caesar's friends
I'm
should
not
chance.
standing. Lepidus, good cheer. There's no harm intended to your person, or to no Roman else. So tell them, Lepidus.
And leave us, Lepidus, lest that the people rushing on us should do your age some mischief.
Do so, and let no man abide this deed, but we the doers.
Where is Antony?
Fled to his house amazed. Men, wives, and children stare, crowd, and run as it were doomsday. Fates, we shall know your pleasures. That we shall die, we know. Just at the time of drawing days out till men stand upon.
Why, he that cuts off 20 years of life, cuts off many years of fear and death.
There's that, and then his death of benefit. So are we Caesar's friends. And the British is time of fearing death. Stoop, Romans, stoop! And let us wash our hands in Caesar's blood up to the elbows, and bespear our swords, and walk forth, even to the marketplace, and, waving our red weapons o'er our heads, let's all cry, peace, freedom, and liberty!
Stoop then, and wash! How many ages henceforth shall this unlofty scene be acted out? In states unborn, and accents yet unknown!
How many times shall Caesar lead in sport? But now on Pompey's faces flies along no worthier than dust.
As oft as that shall be, so often shall the not of us be known as the men that gave their countries liberty!
What, shall we forth?
Aye, every man of us. And Brutus shall lead. We shall grace his heels with the boldest and best hearts of Rome.
Who comes here? A friend of Antony's.
Thus, Brutus, did my master bid me kneel. Thus did Mark Antony bid me fall down, and being prostrate, thus he bade me say, Brutus is valiant, wise, noble, and honest. Caesar was mighty, bold, royal, and loving. Say I love Brutus, and I honor him. Say I feared Caesar, honored, and loved him. If Brutus will vouchsafe that Antony may safely come to him and be resolved how Caesar had deserved to lie in death, then Antony will not love Caesar that so well as Brutus living, and will follow the fortunes and affairs of noble Brutus through the hazards of his untried state. So says my master Antony.
My master is a wise and valiant Roman. I never thought him worse. Tell him, so please him come unto this place, he shall be satisfied. And by my honor depart untouched.
I'll fetch him presently.
You know that we shall have him well as friend.
I wish we may, but yet I have a mind that fears him much, and my misgiving fall shrewdly to the purpose.
Here comes Antony. Welcome, Mark Antony.
O mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, and spoils shrunk to this little measure? Very well. Gentlemen, I know not what you intend. Who else must be let blood? Who else is rank? If I myself, there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death hour, nor no weapons of half that worth as those your swords, made rich with the most noble blood in all the world. I do beseech ye, if you bear me hard, now whilst your purpled hands do reek and smoke, fulfill your pleasure. Live 1,000 years, I shall not find myself so apt to die. No place will please me so, no mean of death, as here by Caesar and by you cut off the choice and master spirits of this age.
Oh, Antony, make not your death of us, for now we must appear bloody and cruel, as by our hands in this our present deed you see we do. Yet see you blocked our hands in this the bleeding business they have robbed our hearts. You see not, they are pitiful, and pity to the general wrong of Rome. As fire drives out fire, so pity done this deed on Caesar. For your part, to you our hands have lent points, Mark Antony. Our arms in strength of malice, and our swords of brother's temper do receive you in, with kind love, good thoughts, and reverence.
Your voice shall be as strong as any man's in the disposing of new dignities.
Only be patient till we have appeased the multitude, beside themselves with fear. And then we will unfold to you the cause why I, that did love Caesar when I struck him, have thus proceeded.
I doubt not your reason. Let each man render me his bloody hand. First, Marcus Brutus, do I shake with you. Next, Caius Cassius, do I take your hand. Now, Decius, yours. Now yours, Metellus Liber. Yours, Cinna. And my valiant Casca, yours. Gentlemen, all alas, what shall I say? My credit now stands on such slippery ground that one of two bad ways you must conceit me. Whether a coward or a flatterer. That I did love thee, Caesar, oh, 'tis true. If then thy spirit look upon us now, shall it not grieve thee dearer than thy death, to see thy Antony making his peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes, most noble in the presence of thy corpse? Had I as many eyes as thou hast wounds, it would become me better than to close in terms of friendship with thine enemies. Oh, pardon me, Julius. Here wast thou bade, brave heart, here didst thou fall, and here thy hunter stand! Sighed in thy spoil, and crimsoned in thy leap. O world, thou was the forest to this heart. And indeed, O world, the heart of thee. How like a deer strucken by many princes dost thou here lie.
Mark Antony.
Pardon me, Caius Cassius. The enemies of Caesar shall say this, that in a friend it is called modesty.
I do not fault you for praising Caesar so. What compact mean you to have with us? You be pricked in the number of our friends. Shall be on, and not depend on you.
Therefore I took your hands, but was indeed swayed from the point by looking down on Caesar. Friends am I with you all, and love you all, and upon this hope that you will give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Or else for this savage spectacle. Our reasons are so full of good regard, Mark Antony, that were you should be satisfied.
Be it so. I am moreover suitor that I may produce his body to the marketplace, and in the pulpit as becomes a friend speak in the order of his funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word? You know not what you do. Do not consent that Mark Antony speak at his funeral. Know you how much he may move the people by that which he will utter?
Under your pardon, I will myself into the pulpit first, and give the reasons for our Caesar's death. When Antony shall speak, I shall protest he speaks by leave and by permission. and that we are contented that Caesar shall have all true rights and lawful ceremonies. It shall advantage more than do us wrong.
No, not which may fall. I like it not.
Mark Antony, take you Caesar's body. You shall not in your funeral speech blame us, but speak all good you can devise of Caesar, and say you do it by our permission. Else shall you not have any hand at all in Caesar's funeral. And you shall do it in that same pulpit where I myself am going, when my speech is ended.
Be it so. I do desire no more.
Prepare the body then. Follow us.
Oh, pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived in this tide of times. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood. Over thy wounds do I now prophesy, which like dumb mouths do ope their ruby lips, to beg voice and utterance of my tongue. A curse shall light upon the limbs of man. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall cumber all the parts of Italy. Blood and destruction shall be so in use, and dreadful objects so familiar that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infants quartered with the hands of war. And Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge, with Ate by his side, come hot for Mel, shall in these confines, in a monarch's voice, cry, "Havoc! And let slip the dogs of war!" That this foul deed shall smell above the earth, with carrion men groaning for burial. You have written to Octavius Caesar, have you not?
I have, sir. And he didn't need to say to you by word of mouth. How to speak, sir.
Thy heart is big, yet the pardon weep. Passion I see is catching from mine eyes, seeing those beads of sorrow that stand in mine begin to water. Is Octavius coming?
He lies tonight within 7 days of Rome.
Post back with speed and tell him what hath chanced. Here is a mourning Rome, a dangerous Rome, no Rome of safety for Octavius yet. Hie hence and tell him so. Yet, stay a while. Thou shalt not back till I have borne this course into the marketplace. I shall try in my oration how the people take the cruel issue of these bloody men. Upon which thou shalt discourse to young Octavius this state of things. Lend me your hands.
Silence!
Be patient to the last. Romans, countrymen, and lovers, hear me for my cause, and be silent that you may hear. Believe me for mine honor, and have respect to mine honor, that you may believe. Censure me in your wisdoms, and await your senses, that you may the better judge. If there be any man in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus's love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I love Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were living, to die all slaves, than that he were dead, to live all free men? As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There is tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base that will not be a bondman? If any speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so rude that will not be a Roman? If any speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so vile as will not love his country? If any speak, for him have I offended. I pause for reply.
None, Brutus! None!
Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. The question of his death is enrolled in the Capitol. His glory is not extenuated, for which he was worthy, nor his offenses enforced, for which he suffered death. Here comes his body, mourned by Mark Antony. who, though he had no hand in Caesar's funeral, shall receive the benefit of his dying, a place in the commonwealth. As which of you shall not? With this I depart, that, as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have that same dagger for myself, when it shall please my country to need my death.
Bring triumph home unto his house.
Give him a statue with his ancestors.
Let him be Caesar. Caesar's better part shall be crowned in Brutus.
Move him into his house with shouts and clamors.
Countrymen,
Peace! Silence!
Peace, hold!
Speaks!
countrymen, let me depart alone, and for my sake stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's body and grace his speech, tending on Caesar's glories, which Antony, by our permission, is allowed to make. I do entreat you, not a man depart, save I alone, till Antony has spoken.
Let's stay in here, Mark Antony.
Let him go up into the public chair. We'll hear him. Noble Antony, go up.
For Brutus's sake, I am beholden to you.
What does he say of Brutus?
He says, for Brutus's sake, he finds himself beholding to us all.
To your best, you speak no harm of Brutus here.
That Caesar was a tyrant.
Nay, that's certain. We are blessed that Rome is rid of him.
Peace, ho! Let us hear what Antony can say.
You gentle Romans.
Peace! No, let us hear
Romans, countrymen! Lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man, so are they all honorable men, come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me, but Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Was this in Caesar ambitious? When the poor hath cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him with the kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? But Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke. I speak to tell you what I do know, that you all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason! Bear with me. My heart lies in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me.
Methinks there's much reason in his saying.
Does not consider rightly of the matter. Caesar has had great wrong.
I see, masters. I fear there will a worse come after him.
Mark to his words, he would not take the crown, therefore 'tis certain he was not ambitious.
If he be found so, some will do abide it.
Poor soul, his eyes are red as fire with weeping.
There's not a nobler man in Rome than Antony.
Now mark him, he begins to speak again.
But yesterday the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies he there, and none so poor to do him reverence. O masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong, and Cassius wrong, who, as you all know, are honorable men. I will not wrong such honorable men. I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you, than I will wrong such honorable men. But here's a parchment, bearing the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet, 'tis his will. Let but the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read. And they would go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds, and dip their napkins in his sacred blood. Yea, beg a hair of him for memory. And dying, mention it within their wills, bequeathing it unto their issue a rich legacy.
Well, here you will. Read it, Mark Antony.
Read the will.
Read the will, please.
Have patience, gentle friends. It is not me you know how Caesar loved you. You are not wood. You are not stones, but men. And being men, bearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you. It will make you mad. 'Tis good you know not that you are his heirs, for if you should, what would come of it?
Read us the will, we shall hear it, Antony. You shall read us the will, Caesar's will!
Will you be patient? Will you stay a while? I fear I have overshot myself to tell you of it. I fear I wrong the honorable men whose daggers have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it.
They were traitors, honorable.
The will, the testament.
Romans murderers, read us the
The
will!
will.
You will compel me then to read the will? Then make a ring about the corpse of Caesar and let me show you him that made the will.
A ring, stand round.
Stand from the hearse, stand from the body.
Room for Antony, most noble Antony.
Nay, press not so upon me, stand far off.
Stand back, bear back.
If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this mantle. I remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. This was in his tent on a summer's evening that day he overcame nearby. Look, in this place ran Cassius's dagger through. See what a rent the envious Casca made? Through this his well-beloved Brutus stabbed. And as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it, as if rushing out of doors to be resolved if Brutus so unkindly knocked or no. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, O you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all. For when noble Caesar saw him stabbed, ingratitude more strong than traitor's arms quite vanquished him, and burst his mighty heart. And muffling up his face in his mantle, and even the base of Pompey's statue of great Caesar fell. And what a fall there was, my countrymen! Then you and I and all of us fell down, whilst bloody treason flourished over us. Oh, now you weep, and I perceive you feel the dint of pity. These are gracious drops. What, weep you when you but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded? Here is himself, marred as you see with traitors.
Piteous spectacle.
Oh, noble Caesar!
Oh, woeful day! Oh, traitors! Villains!
Almost bloody sights!
We will be revenged! Revenge! About see! Fire! Burn! Let not a traitor live!
Countrymen!
Peace, ho!
Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable. What private griefs they have, alas, I know not that make them do it. They will have reasons answer you. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no orator, as Brutus is, but as you know me all, a plain, blunt man that loved my friend. That they know full well that gave me public leave to speak of him. For I have neither wit, nor words, nor worth, action, nor utterance, nor the power of speech to stir men's blood. I only speak right on. I tell you that which you yourself do know, show you sweet Caesar's wounds, poor, dumb mouths, and bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there were an Antony that would ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar's that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny.
We'll burn the house of Brutus!
Away then! Come, speak the conspirator!
Yet hear me, countrymen, and hear me with peace. Why, friends, you go to do you know not what. Wherein hath Caesar deserved your loves? Alas, you know not, then I must tell you. You have forgot the will I told you of.
Most true! The will! Let's see it here, the will!
Here's the will, and under Caesar's seal. To every Roman citizen he gives, to every several man, 75 drachmas.
Oh, most noble Caesar! We'll revenge his death!
Oh, royal Caesar!
Peace, ho!
Hear me with patience. Moreover, he hath left you all his walks, his new planted orchards, his private arbors on this side Tiber. He hath left them for you and all your heirs forever, for common pleasures to walk about and recreate yourselves. Here was a Caesar. When comes such another?
Never! Never! Come! Away! We'll burn the bodies of the holy place and with the brands fire the traitors' houses!
Go fetch fire!
Look up benches!
Look down! Windows! Forms! Anything!
O mischief thou art afoot. Take what course thou wilt. How now, fellow?
Sir, Octavius has already come to Rome.
Where is he?
He's at Caesar's house.
And thither I'll straight to visit him. He comes upon a wish. Fortune is merry, and in such a mood will give us anything.
I heard him say Brutus and Cassius are rid like madmen through the gates of Rome.
Belike they had some notice of the people, how I had moved them. Bring me to Octavius. These many then shall die, their names are pricked. Your brother too must die. Consent you, Lepidus.
I do consent.
Perfect God, Antony.
Upon the condition that Publius too shall not live. Who is your sister's son, my lord?
Then he shall not live. Look, with a spot I damn him. But Lepidus, go you to Caesar's house, fetch the will hither, and we shall determine how to cut off some shards and legacies.
What shall I meet here?
Here, or at the Capitol. Lepidus is a slight, unmeritable man, meet to be sent on errands. Is it fit the threefold world divided he should stand one of the three to share it?
And so you thanked him, and took his voice to should be pricked to die in our black sentence and prescription.
I have seen more days than you, Octavius, and though we lay these honors on this man to ease ourselves of divers slanderous loads, people but bear them as the ass bears gold, to groan and sweat under the business, either led or driven as we point the way. And when we brought our treasure where we will, then take we down his load and set him off, like to the empty ass, to go shake his ears and raise in commons.
You may do your will, but he is a tried and valiant soldier.
So is my horse, Octavius. And for that I do appoint him store of provender. It is a creature that I teach to fight, to whine, to stop, to run directly on, his corporal motion governed by my spirit. And in some taste is Lepidus, but so. He must be taught and trained and bid to go forth. A barren-spirited fellow, one that feeds on abjects and norts and imitations, which, out of use and staled by other men, begin his fashion. Do not speak of him but as a property. But listen, Octavius, great things. Brutus and Cassius are levying powers. We must straighten a head. Therefore, let our alliance be combined, our best friends made, and our means stretched. And presently we will go sit in council and decide how covert matters may be best disclosed and open peril surest answered.
Let us do so, for we are at stake and bait about with many enemies. And some who smile have in their hearts, I fear, millions of these chips.
Stand.
Give the word and stand.
Put down, Casca. It's Cassius here.
He's an ant.
A word, Casca. How he received you, let me be resolved.
With courtesy and with respect enough. But not with such familiar instances, nor with such freedom from incompetency half of old.
Thou hast described a hot friend coolly. Ever note, Casca, when love begins to sicken and decay, but use it in enforced ceremony. There are no tricks in plain and simple faith. Hollow men, with horses hot at hand, make gallant show and promise of their mettle. When they should endure the bloody spur, they fall their crests, and like deceitful jades, sink in the trial. Comes his army on.
Do they mean this by in Sardis to be quartered, the greater part, the force in general? Or come tonight with Cassius?
Pardon, he's arrived.
Most noble brother, you have done me wrong.
Charge me, you gods! Wrong I mine enemies, and if not, how should I wrong a brother?
Brutus, this sober form of yours hides wrongs, and when you do that...
Cassius, be content. Speak your grief softly. I do know you well. Before the eyes of both our armies here, which should perceive nothing but love from us, let us not wrangle. Bid them move away. And in my tent, Cassius, enlarge your griefs, and I will give you audience.
Casca, bid our commanders take their charges up a little from this ground, and let no man come to our tent till we have done our conference. That you have wronged me doth appear in this. You have condemned and noted Lucius Pella for taking bribes here of the Sardian, wherein my letters, praying on his side, because I knew the man, were slighted off.
You wronged yourself to write in such a case.
In times such as these, it is not meet that every kind offense should bear his comment.
Let me tell you, Cassius, you yourself are much condemned to have an itching palm, to sell and march your offices for gold to undeservers.
I, an itching palm. Oh, you know you are Lucius that speaks as well. By the gods, this speech will else your last.
The name of Cassius honors his corruption, and chastisement doth therefore hide his head.
Chastisement!
Remember March, the Ides of March, remember. Did not great Julius bleed for justice' sake? What villain touched his body that did stab, and not for justice? What? Shall one of us that struck the foremost man of all this world, but for supporting robbers? Shall we now contaminate our fingers with base bribes? sell the mighty space of our large honors for such trash as may be grasped thus. I had rather be a dog and bay the moon than such a Roman.
Brutus, bay me no more. I'll not endure it. You forget yourself to hedge me in. I am a soldier, older in practice and abler than yourself to make conditions.
So too, you are not, Cassius.
I am.
I say you are not.
Urge me no more. I shall forget myself. Put mind upon your help and tempt me no further.
Away, slight man!
Is it possible?
Must I give way room to your rash choler? Shall I be frightened when a madman stares?
Oh, ye gods, must I endure all this?
All this? I mourn. Fret till your proud heart break. Must I observe you? Must I budge? Must I stand and crouch under your testy humor? By the gods, you shall digest the venom of your spleen, though it do split you. For from this day forth I'll use you for my mirth, yea, for my laughter when you are waspish.
Does it come to this?
You say you are a better soldier. Let it appear so. Make your wanting true, and it shall please me well. For my part, I shall be glad to learn of noble men.
You wrong me every way, Brutus. You wrong me. I said an elder soldier, not a better. I say better.
If you did, I care not.
When Caesar hath lived, he dare not thus move me.
Peace, peace. You dare not so have tempted him.
I dare not.
No.
What? Dare not tempt
Your
him?
life you dare not.
Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that, and I shall be sorry for it.
You have done that you should be sorry for. There is no terror, Cassius, in your threats. For I am armed so strong in honesty that they pass me by as the idle wind, which I respect not. I did send to you for certain sums of gold which you denied me. For I can raise no money by vile means. By heavens, I had rather coin my heart and drop my blood for drachmas than to wring from the hard hands of peasants their vile trash by any indirection. I did send to you for gold to pay my legions which you denied me. Was that done like Cassius? Should I have answered Caius Cassius so? When Marcus Brutus grows so covetous to lock such rascal counters from his friends, be ready, gods, with all your thunderbolts, dash him to pieces.
I denied you not.
You did.
I did not. He was but a fool that brought my answer back. Brutus rived my heart. A friend should bear his friend's infirmities. But Brutus makes mine greater than they are.
I do not, till you practice them on me.
You love me not.
I do not like your faults.
A friendly eye could never see such faults.
Flatterers would not, though they do appear as huge as high Olympus.
Come, Antony, and young Octavius, come! Revenge yourselves alone on Cassius, for Cassius is aweary of the world, hated by one he loves, braved by his brother, checked like a bondsman. All of his faults observed and set in a notebook, learned and gone by route to cast into my teeth. Oh, I could weep my spirit from mine eyes. There is my dagger, and here my naked breast. Within it a heart, dearer than Brutus' mine, richer than gold. If thou be a Roman, take it forth. I that denied thee gold will give you my heart. Strike! As thou did at Caesar, for I do know. When thou did hate him worse, thou loved him more than ever loved Cassius.
Sheathe your dagger. Be angry when you will, shall have scope. Do what you will, dishonor shall be humor. Oh, Cassius, you are yoked with a lamb that carries anger as the flint bears fire, which, much in force, shows a hasty spark, and straight is cold again.
If Cassius lived, he would mirth and laughter to his bruises, when grief and blood ill temper vexed him.
When I spoke that, I was ill-tempered too.
So you confess so much. Give me your hand.
My heart too.
Oh, Brutus!
What's the matter?
Have you enough love to bear with me when that rash humor my mother gave me makes me forgetful?
Yes, Cassius. And when you are over earnest with your Brutus, will think your mother chides, and leave you so.
I did not think you could be so angry.
Cassius, I am sick of many griefs.
Of your philosophies you make no use to give place to accidental evils.
A man bears sorrow better. Portia is dead.
Portia,
She is dead.
how escaped I killing when I crossed you so? Oh, insupportable in touching loss upon what sickness?
Impatient of my absence, and grief that young Octavius and Mark Antony have grown so strong. For with her death that tidings came. This she grew distract, and her attendants absent swallowed fire.
Die thus.
Even so,
Oh, ye mortal gods!
speak no more of her. Give me a bowl of wine. In this I bury all unkindness, Cassius.
My heart is thirsty for that noble pledge. Go to the wine overswell the cup. I cannot drink too much of Brutus's love.
Come in, Casca. Welcome, Casca, good Simber. Now sit me close about this taper here, and call in question our necessities. Simber, I have here received letters of young Octavius and Mark Antony, and they're come down upon us with a higher, mighty power, bending their expedition towards Philippi.
Myself have letters of the self-same tenor.
With what addition?
That by prescription and bills of outlawry, Octavius, Antony, and Lepidus have put to death 100 senators.
There in our letters do not well agree. Mine speak of 70 senators that died by these prescriptions, Decius being one.
Decius won.
Decius is dead, and by that order of prescription. Have you your letters from your wife, my lord?
No, Simber.
Nor nothing in your letters rid of her?
Nothing, Simber.
That methinks is strange.
Why ask you? Hear you utter her in yours?
No.
Now, as you are a Roman, tell me true.
Then like a Roman bear the truth I tell, for certain she is dead, in my strange manner.
My farewell, Portia. You must die, Simber. Meditating that she must die once, I have the patience to bear it now.
Even so, great men, great losses should endure.
I have as much of that as heart and you beget. My nature could not bear it so.
For work alone. One thing you march into Philippi presently.
I think it not good.
No reason?
This is it. 'Tis better that the enemy seek us, so waste his means, weary his soldiers, doing himself offense, whilst we, lying still, are full of rest, defense, and nimbleness.
Good reasons must, of course, be placed better. The people twixt Philippi this ground do stand but in a forced affection, for they have grudged us contribution. The enemy, coming along by them, shall make a fuller number up, come on refreshed, new added and encouraged, from which advantage shall we cut him off. If at Philippi we do meet him there, these people at our backs.
Hear me, good brother.
Under your pardon. You will note besides that we have tried the utmost of our friends. Our legions are brimful. Our cause is ripe. The enemy increases every day. We, at the height, are ready to decline. There is a tide in the affairs of men which, taken at the flood, leads on to fortune. Amid all the voyage of their lives, on in shallows and in miseries. In such a full sea are we now afloat, and we must take the courage when it serves or lose our ventures.
So, by your word, go on. Go along ourselves. Meet them at Philippi. This was an ill beginning to the night. Never such division come between our souls, Brutus. Let not.
Everything is well. The deep of night has crept upon our talk, and nature must obey necessity and will rest. There's one more to say?
No more. Early tomorrow we shall rise, and hence. Good night, my lord.
Good night, Cassius. How ill this taper burns. Who comes here? I think it is a weakness of mine eyes that shapes this apparition. It comes upon me. What art thou? Thou anything? Art thou some god, some angel, or some devil? It sets my hair to stare and my blood run cold. Speak to me what thou art!
Thy evil spirit, Brutus.
Why comest thou?
To tell thee, thou shalt see me at Philippi.
Oh, I shall see thee again.
Aye, at Philippi.
Well, and I shall see thee at Philippi then. Now that I've taken heart, thou men, ill spirit, I would hold more talk with thee. Oh, Cassius! Cassius, awake!
My lord,
Dost thou dream, Cassius, that thou so criest out?
I did not know that I'd cry.
Yes, that thou didst see anything.
Nothing.
Nothing. Good night, Cassius.
Be at peace. Good night, Brutus.
The enemy comes on a gallant show. The bloody tide of battle is hung out, and something to be done immediately. Lead your battle softly on upon the left hand of the even field. Now upon the right hand I, keep thou the left. Why do you cross me in this exigent? I do not cross you, but I will do so.
They stand and would have
Our
part.
enemies shall we give start a battle. No Octavius Caesar, we will answer on their charge. Start forth, the generals would have some words. Stir not into the sinew.
Words before blows. Is it so, countrymen?
Not that we love words better, as you do.
Good words are better than bad strokes, Octavius.
In your good words, Brutus, you give back strokes. Witness the whole you made in Caesar's heart, crying, long live, hail Caesar.
Antony, the posture of your blows is yet unknown. For your words may rob the bees and leave them honeyless.
Not stingless, too.
Oh yes, and soundless too. For you have stolen their buzzing, Antony, and very wisely threat before use.
Villains, you did not so. When your vile daggers hacked one another in the sides of Caesar, you showed your teeth like apes, and bowed like hounds, and fawned like bondsmen, whilst damned Casca like a cur behind struck Caesar on the neck, oh you flatterers.
Flatterers! Oh, Brutus, thank yourself. This tongue not offended so today, like Cassius might have ruled.
Come, the cause! If our brain make us sweat, let the proof of it turn to red and drops. Look! I draw a sword against conspirators! When think you the sword comes up again? Never! To Caesar's 33 wounds be well avenged, or to little Caesar have been slaughtered to the sword of traitors!
Caesar, thou canst not die by traitors' swords, unless thou bringst them with thee.
So I hope. I was not born to die on Brutus' sword.
Oh, if thou wert the noblest of thy strain, young man, thou couldst not die more honorable.
A peevish schoolboy, worthless of such an honor, joined by a master and a reverend.
Old Cassius still. Come, Antony, away. Defiance, traitors, hurl we in your teeth. If you dare fight today, come to the field. If not, when you have the stomachs.
The storm is up, and all is on hazard.
Casca, a word with you.
Simber,
What say you?
Simber, this is my birthday. On this very day was Cassius born. Give me thy hand, Simber. Be thou my witness that against my will, as Pompey was, am I compelled to set upon one battle all our liberties. Coming from Sardis on our former ensign, 2 mighty eagles fell, and there they perched, gorging and feeding out of our soldiers' hands who to Philippi here consorted us. This morning, they fled away, gone. And in their steads do ravens, crows, and kids fly over our heads, looking downward on us, as if we were sickly prey. Their shadows seem to canopy most fatal, and our army lies underneath, ready to give up the ghost.
Believe not so.
I but believe it partly, for I am fresh of spirit, and resolved to meet all perils very constantly. Now, most noble Brutus, gods today stand friendly that we may, lovers in peace, lead on our days to age. But since the affairs of men are still uncertain, let us reason with the worst than we If we do lose this battle, and is this the last time we shall speak to you? What are you then determined to do?
Even by the rule of that philosophy by which I did blame Cato for the death which he did give himself, I know not how, but I do find it cowardly and vile, for fear of what might fall so to prevent the time of life. Arming myself with patience to stay the providence of some higher powers to govern us below.
Then, if we lose this battle, you are contented to be led in triumph through the streets of Rome?
No, noble Roman, think not, Cassius, that ever Brutus will go bound to Rome. He bears too great a line. But this same day must end the work that Ides of March began. and whether we shall meet again, I know not. Therefore, our everlasting farewell take. Forever, forever farewell, Cassius. We shall meet again where we shall smile. If not, why then this parting was well made.
Forever and forever.